You've heard it before, happy wife, happy life. But what if I told you this phrase might actually be eroding your connection, fueling your resentment, and keeping you stuck in a cycle where no one feels truly seen? Let's talk about what's really behind this catchy little saying and why it's not the relationship advice we think it is. I've sat across from countless couples where one partner lives by this phrase. Often he avoids conflict. He says things like yes to keep the peace and shrugs off his own needs. And at first, it seems like it's working. There aren't any fights, there's no raised voices, but over time, it's not peace, it's silence, and it leads to disconnection because avoiding conflict is not the same as creating closeness. Happy wife, happy life turns one person into the emotional manager in the relationship and the other into a ghost of themselves. And here's the hardest truth. When we prioritize one person's surface level happiness over emotional honesty, nobody wins. Happy wife, happy life is often worn like this badge of honor, but beneath that smile, there's often resentment, and not just for one person, but on both sides. The partner who constantly is trying to keep her happy, he starts to feel like nothing he does is enough. He shuts down, he suppresses, self sacrifices, self abandons. He stops sharing what he really thinks, needs, or feels. Meanwhile, she can feel that something is off. Maybe she's getting what she asks for, but it's not really creating a sense of connection. And this dynamic creates an emotional imbalance where one person is always accommodating and the other person becomes the keeper of the mood, of the atmosphere. And that's not true intimacy. This is performance. Real partnership doesn't ask either person to shrink or disappear in order to keep things feeling fine. Here's what often happens next. The one who's been keeping the peace hits a breaking point. They've spent years of avoiding tension, but in doing so, they've also avoided truth. They might say, I don't even know who I am in this relationship anymore. And as a result, they might withdraw emotionally, they might withdraw sexually and physically. And the partner who's been trying to get their needs met, they feel emotionally alone, unseen. That's the real damage of this phrase. It teaches us to prioritize harmony over true honesty, security, and connection. And when we do that, we bypass real conversations. We lose repair moments. We miss the chance to grow together. And resentment is going to build on both sides. So what starts out by keeping things smooth ends up into a slow drift apart. Instead of happy wife, happy life, I want couples to embrace this idea. Connected partners, thriving relationship. It's not about one person being happy while the other disappears. It's about two people feeling safe and secure enough to show up as they are. This requires us to speak hard truths. It requires to own your needs. It requires you to sit in discomfort while also learning how to listen to each other, not to fix, but to truly try to understand. That's what creates lasting connection, not the idea of walking on eggshells so somebody else can be happy. If you've ever felt like you're the peacekeeper or like you're always the one managing the mood in the home, this is your invitation to shift, to build something deeper than surface level harmony. You can start today. Watch the full conversation I had with Matthew Frey on the podcast. And if you're ready to stop living like roommates and rebuild the emotional spark between you and your partner, join me in my More Than Roommates challenge. You deserve a relationship where both people matter. I've got the links below for you. See you next time.